What's up, guys? It's James. I really hope the wind isn't too loud because I have this amazing setting here. I'm in Greece. This is just a small island called Aegina, and let's see if I can just pull it up here. Yeah, there we go. It's an island in Greece called Aegina, and I did a meditation retreat here for the last 2 weeks. I don't know if you can see it in my eyes or not, but they usually when you do these types of meditation retreats, it really relaxes the face, and you experience some happiness. It's not all about happiness, it's more about just feeling the emotions fully that we have. So I just wanted to shoot a video because, you know, I like to shoot videos when I travel, and I think that this is really going to be a cool one. So just give you some ideas, some things that I learned this week. And you know, one of the things that was very interesting that I learned this week was about the idea of space. And space can be kind of a hard thing to describe to someone not into meditation. But I guess, like, you could say that space is kind of like, if we related it to pickup, that it would be something like if you're with a girl and or not even if you're with her, but if you just see a girl and you find her to be attractive, and there's just a feeling of hesitation sometimes, and that hesitation is being afraid to enter into that space of uncertainty. And you know, something that's interesting about masculine and feminine principles is that they say that the feminine is space, it's wisdom, it is accommodating. It accommodates many things, many different attitudes. It's able to flow with the moment, so to speak. Whereas masculine has more to do with skillful means, and as men we have to learn how to relate with that wisdom. We have to learn how to enter into what they call a dance. In the spiritual community they call it the dance, you know, where it's an interplay between moving with direction and moving also with empathy. So what can happen is that people are afraid of their own nature sometimes. They're afraid that their passion or their aggression or their emotion or their fear, if they expressed it, it would just be too strong. And they feel these emotions very clearly, but they try to escape from them. It would be like if you worked all day and you just have that heady feeling, is kind of or you know, a long session of meditation, or you just feel like it kind of it's kind of a grind, you know. I don't know if this is the correct way to describe it. For me, that's how I find it, is that it's kind of heavy, you know. And so, but it's in these emotions that we kind of discover ourselves, and that we're able to work with ourselves, and if we can have kindness for ourselves when we do this, then we learn how to relate with the world as well. As far as interacting with females, I think a lot of guys are afraid of that space because they're thinking about their own agenda, and they forget that they have intelligence, and that intelligence is going to take the situation and approach it appropriately. So, like with the female, like, for one, women are always getting approached. Also, they have strong emotions, so they're more connected to their body, and they're more free, so they have less need for an outcome. These kind of things, you know. As far as sex is concerned, they're more flowing with the feel of the moment. And as guys, if you can discover that's really good, because then you can properly relate to a woman and see that it's not so much about the sex. It can also be about the feeling that you have between yourselves. You know, like if you know that feeling after you've had an orgasm, where you just feel free and open. You know, like that. Like, if you can open up to that before, then that's really good. So there's a sense of opening in that way, and meditation, we learn to open our minds. As men, we can get lost in concepts and fantasies, and these fantasies and concepts are how things should be, or how things aren't, how things used to be, things like that, you know. And those concepts can get in the way, like a cloud, in the way of our basic goodness and our sense of being able to relate to situations with creativity, intelligence, through our senses. So what I mean by that is, like, if we're in the present moment, then we're able to relate to it properly. So a lot of what Buddhism teaches is learning how to relate to situations properly. It's not always about, like, escaping from the real world. It's actually meditation in everyday life has a lot to do with learning how to relate to the real world, and that also has to do with how we relate to sex, how we relate to women, and if we can kind of enter into that space and allow our intelligence. So we're in the present moment, and then we allow our intelligence, our intelligence as men, reading social cues. These aren't things we have to do. We just sense them. We pick them up instantly. Let me ask you: have you ever been with a girl and you just know right away that's on? Why is that? It's because you have intelligence about the chemistry between you, and you can sense out the situation. Now, but if you have a preconceived idea that you need to have sex with every woman, then that blocks that intelligence. Something very interesting that I learned this week is that when you're open, you find all women can be beautiful, but you don't feel, or I didn't feel like I had to hook up with every single one. There was a few that I definitely had chemistry with and that I actually pursued, and those things, they ended up well. But in general, I was able to relate better by using that intelligence in a way, and just trusting the situation. And in the end, everything was good. So I mean, I'm in Greece, so I'm on an island meditating and meeting a lot of cool people. So what could actually be better than this? So anyway, just kind of a short video today. I hope you guys kind of understood some of my conclusions, and I'll shoot some more tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, take care. Hey guys, what's up? It's James, and it's a very hot day on the planet Earth here, and part of the world that I am currently inhabiting is Aegina, Greece. It's a small island that is not too far from Athens, and I've been here for the last 2 weeks. I've been doing a meditation retreat here, and it's been a really fantastic experience for me, just to kind of really wake up in a way and to see myself and get to know myself and kind of get to know how I relate to other people. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you guys about today, is this idea of how when we inhabit a state of higher consciousness and when we're more present to the moment, how we're able to relate to people better, relate to situations better, and ultimately lead a better life. So let's get into it. Okay, so just like kind of the first idea that I want you to think about is like the difference between being physically naked, having no clothes, and being psychologically naked. And I think that we can all understand what physically naked means. I would say that for the most part, guys are interested in being physically naked with women. They want to have that sense of dominance, that feeling of that the clothes to come off, and now things can begin. But for a woman, I think that women are more interested in the feelings and the emotions in the relationship, and they want to be with someone who's being real with them. I think that women are afraid. They get a fear instinct of guys who are in their heads thinking too much. And it's interesting, I think, because I think that women are actually very interested in sex, but there's just so many guys out there who cannot properly relate to a woman. And so there's this idea of space that is very interesting, that it's a sense of wisdom that women have regarding situations. Women have stronger emotions, so they're able to connect with the present moment more correctly. Their genes reward them by being connected with the present moment in a way. And so when we relate properly to the present moment with the woman, it actually turns her on. And that makes her feel like she's connected to the social situation in a way, which is very important. And so, like, I don't know, like, something that I just kind of discovered this week is that when there isn't the impetus or the thinking going on in my head, trying to label situations, trying to impose my beliefs on how things should be, and really just making an effort. It can never be perfect, but always just being conscious of my thinking so that I'm able to relate to situations directly as I can. That it's much easier to feel the emotions of others than to feel the emotions that I have. Emotions are always in the present moment. And so the emotions that come up, for example, like something that might happen as far as attraction goes, is that there's chemistry. And I found that it's very interesting that not every woman that I found to be attractive here I had chemistry with. But there was some women here who I had really good chemistry with that weren't that attractive. So, I mean, it's interesting how that kind of works out. That, there was different cases everywhere, but it wasn't. I realized that by meditating that I didn't have to have sex with every woman. It wasn't. Meditation didn't give me that ability. It just gave me the ability to see the situations more clearly and be able to relate to the women that were here more clearly. And I have a few interesting episodes and things that went well overall. Because of that. And that's why I really wanted to make this video today, because I think that when you're able to see things clearly without thought and just to feel in the moment, these meditation retreats, a lot of people are always touching each other, looking each other in the eye. There's a lot of nonverbal communication going on. And even here we had days where we couldn't talk, and so that was especially prevalent. And it's very interesting how you can go from looking someone directly in the eyes and putting your arm on their shoulder to giving them a hug, to holding hands and to kissing, and it just kind of happens. There's nothing really that special about it, actually. It's just when we're thinking and we're trying to create a situation and we're trying to reinforce our ego and stuff, that it becomes more complicated. But actually, I think that the sexual act is extremely simple, and I think that it's so simple, like meditation, where you're just following the breath, that's very simple, that's hard for the ego to deal with. It's hard for the ego to create its own concept about, create its own all about me about, it's not quite about that. I mean, like a Buddhist or, someone in Eastern philosophy will say, it's all about being one, it's all about being unified. And that's kind of where that comes from, is that when you really become present to the moment, you don't have reference points about who you are. You are just in the moment and you just are the moment. You just are your surroundings. You are the other person. You're yourself. You feel that. That's why they say that. You feel that oneness. And I think that it's something that if you guys can get a chance to, it'd be really cool to pursue on your own. But in general, in daily life, we can apply mindfulness to everything we do. So just to whatever you're doing, to apply your mind to that while you're doing is kind of the practice. In meditation, we learn to focus on the breath as a practice for applying it to the real world. So anyway, I just ran through this kind of quick. I hope that all made sense to you guys, and thanks for watching.
A co do romantica farma?
Yes, this is the old. Because it's
So guys, something that I forgot to mention is that, when you become completely present to the moment, that in fact, need for sex becomes much less. You begin to enjoy every moment. And this is really what it comes down to, is that when you're able to enjoy every moment completely, that you come from a place of abundance. In Buddhism, we call it basic goodness. You discover that you are basically good and that you do not need anything outside of yourself to validate that. And as you have that basic goodness, you're able to spread to others that good feeling. And that is that abundant feeling, rather than scarcity, that you need something. You have that abundance, and that you're able to give good emotions to other people. And in the end, that's very conducive, ironically, for sexual success. But you first have to it's an inner game concept that you discover first that basic goodness in yourself without the need for anyone else. And then those situations begin to arise naturally. You understand? You know, it's just like anything can happen. Nothing has to happen. Alright. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope that you were able to take something from this, and I'm going to continue to make these videos so that you can have good success and we can grow. Take care.